Dilek asks her so what's going to happen now, to which she tells her that they need help from the jinns if they are going to undo the spell. Omer says he thinks a doctor should see Dilek first, to which Harun asks him not to be stupid, as they found a bunch of magical material in the house. Omer asks him where did they come from, but only then does Belkis interrupt him saying just because she looks like this and talks like she does, don't think she is an ignorant, mumbo-jumbo exorcist. She is absolutely not against doctors, and even she convinces sick people who come talk to her to go see a psychiatrist because not every incident is related to jinns. Right now, the most malevolent and cruel jinns in the universe are running through her veins, and they will take her through hell the first chance they get. Her goal is to help her, but it's all his call. Hearing all this, Dilek asks Omer to let her do what she wants, and she will go to the doctor afterward. Belkis then tells them that she is going to invite a jinn here to help them, and asks them not to move, talk, or open their eyes until the jinn is here. She then begins the ritual, and Omer stays out of it. Soon after, a Christian jinn named 𝐸𝐿𝐿 from the 𝐂𝐃𝐒 tribe comes there and communicates with her through a board. Belkis asks him to help Dilek in the name of Jesus Christ, but he tells them to leave this house, and the demons from the 𝐂𝐃𝐒 tribe are here. Only then she notices that Dilek is possessed, and she asks 𝐸𝐿𝐿 to tell them what they have to do to save her from the 𝐂𝐃𝐒 tribe. 𝐸𝐿𝐿 tells her in 𝐂𝐃𝐄𝐒, and then the cloth flies away from them. Belkis tells them that the jinn is gone and asks them to calm down. She then tells them that it is certain that the spell is the venom of the jinn because the jinns haunting her are from the 𝐂𝐃𝐒 tribe. 𝐂𝐃𝐒 is the door to the realm of dreams, and while she is sleeping at night, these jinns wait in the dark and stalk her. The jinn was Christian, one of the first ones, and it sent them an encrypted message because it was afraid the other jinns might retaliate. Harun says he knows someone who may be able to tell them what it means, and he can call them if she wants. He then comes back and tells them that in 312 AD, the Roman Emperor Constantine once saw a giant cross hanging from the sky in his dream, and then he heard this phrase, in 𝐂𝐃𝐒, and it means crack the code and you shall be victorious. Only then does Dilek realize that she sees these numbers everywhere, and after checking it, Belkis says that the jinns can pass on a secret from their own realm to theirs through numbers and symbols. So she must travel to the 𝐂𝐃𝐒 realm in order to find out what 7730 means, and for that she will perform the ritual called the slumber of Azrael. She explains that when they sleep, they are actually dead because the soul leaves the body while they are sleeping, and in this ritual, the soul remains here but their body travels to the realm of dreams. Omer asks her if this is dangerous, to which she says yes, but not more dangerous than her current circumstance. Suddenly, Dilek's back begins hurting, and seeing bruises on her back, Belkis says they have to hurry. She begins the ritual and tells her that the realm of the jinn is hidden behind mirrors. She then asks her to dip her right hand in pig's milk and her left hand in pig's blood, and then look at the TV. She then asks her to close her eyes, and soon after, Dilek finds herself in 𝐂𝐃𝐒 realm. She checks her right hand and finds dye written on it, and she tells Belkis that she is scared. Belkis asks her not to fear, as the more she fears, the stronger jinns get. Dilek then tells her that someone is watching her from behind the door, and only then does she say to prepare to die if she sets foot in there and gets dragged into the darkness. She then enters a room and gets spooked to see some black magic stuff there, and then hears a sound from behind. She goes to that side and finds herself surrounded by many entities. A jinn then touches her neck and drags her away. Now when she regains consciousness after some time, she sees that Harun, Belkis, Zeta, and Omer are dead, and then a jinn appears and starts tearing her abdomen. She then encounters her possessed self in front of her, and as she screams, the mirrors in their realm break and Dilek disappears. They then find her possessed there, who tells them that Satan is without sin, but humankind is the epitome of evil. Belkis grabs her hands and begins performing exorcism on her. She then checks the bruise marks on her abdomen and asks her if she remembers who did this to her in the 𝐂𝐃𝐒 realm, to which she says she doesn't, but it was terrifying. Belkis tells her that demons and jinns speak through their bellies, and asks her if she heard anything at all while they were doing this to her. Dilek remembers them saying Kitab al-Ayr, and Belkis tells them that it means the last book. The 𝐂𝐃𝐒 tribe is telling them to look in the Quran to find out what 7730 means. She checks verse 30 of 77 surah of the Quran and finds it says go to the three-pronged shade. And hearing this, Dilek says she knows it. She brings the box out and shows that photo to her, and Belkis tells them that in the old days, they called the Christian cross the three-pronged shade, because it goes three separate ways. Also, in Christianity, there's the Trinity of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Dilek says but what does that have to do with her? Harun says it tells her to go to the three-pronged shade, to which Belkis asks is this a Christian village, and where are this box and the pictures from? She tells her that she found them in her mom's belongings, and Seta asks her if her parents never told her about this village. Dilek says she doesn't even know if there is such a village, and Harun tells them that Google says it's in Bursa. Dilek says her family is from Bursa, to which 𝐁𝐿𝐾𝐒 says she must go there at once. Now because Omer thinks all this is nonsense, Dilek reaches Bursa with Harun. They're in a house. They find a man, and Harun tells him that they are looking for a place called the Three Shades. And is there anyone here who lived there? He tells them that a crazy guy named Yasin lived there. People are afraid of him because he shackles himself every night and talks to the jinns. Only then something breaks, and that man yells at someone and tells him to leave. Harun asks him if can he take them to Yasin, to which he says he will never go near that damned man, but he can point them in the right direction if they want. They then reach Yasin's house, where they find him in a very strange condition acting weirdly. Harun tells him that they came all the way from Istanbul, to which he asks them to go away as the jinns are disturbed by their presence. Harun asks him do they know why they are here, to which he says 3 shades, 3 mortals, and 3 evils. Humankind, jinns, and the devil. Harun tells him that jinns are haunting Dilek, and a Haja who's been helping them said the problem was about the 3 shades. Yasin screams and asks him not to speak of that cursed place and tells them to leave. A jinn then appears there and Yasin talks to him in a different language, and as Dilek says Yakaza tribe, Yasin gets shocked and asks her to come closer. He then grabs her hand and sees that vision, and tells her that she is soul-devouring child, so he needs to take her there right now. Meanwhile, we see that Omer and Seta are having an affair. Here Yasin brings them to a terrible place where there are some graves. He then tells them that no one dares set foot in here, and that this is the secret cemetery of the children who were slain on the day they were born. She asks him what are those shapes on top of them, to which he tells her that they are the symbols of the Jinn tribe that casts the venom spell, and one of the graves is related to her. 30 years ago, 41 days after she was born, an unknown, malignant illness took over her body, and the doctors said she was going to die. Someone told her parents about the Deir al-Haris incident, which took place in the Three Shades village. A ritual in which one's fatal illness gets transferred to someone else's body. The day another baby was born in the village, it was taken away from its mother and brought to her, and using the Yakaza jinns, the evil sickness that possessed her was transferred to the other baby, just like venom. She lived, and the other baby died, and it was given to the jinns. She asks him how he knows all this, to which he tells her because the villagers used him to summon the jinns. Wealthy families were killing poor families' children so that their own would live. They flew in from Germany, France, and even from Israel. All the villagers who were complicit died under a curse. She asks him what she is going to do now, to which he says someone told these jinns that she is using black magic, and they are going to take the life they gifted her. He asks her to look at those graves carefully, because in one of them lies the baby who died because of her. She then begins looking at those graves and selects one, and he tells her that they are going to exhume its remains and bury them in a proper grave. Then these jinns will leave her alone and she will be saved. She asks him why he is helping her, to which he says because she is innocent. The villagers were cruel and they always used him for death, and he is here for life this time around. After this, he starts digging that grave, and on the other hand, we see that Omer has been possessed by the jinn. Here as Yasin opens the box, the Yakaza jinn leaves there. Yasin takes out the kid's remains from that box and tells her that she is saved, and that they can't hurt her anymore. But suddenly Harun attacks and kills him. Dilek gets terrified seeing this and tries to flee, and as she is about to escape, 𝐁𝐿𝐾𝐒 comes there and tries to calm her down. Meanwhile, Seta comes to Omer, and finds that he has been completely possessed by the jinn. She tries to escape but finds that the door is locked, and when she tries to find her phone, the lights in the house go off. She then gets a call from Harun, who says goodbye to her, and only then Omer attacks her. Here 𝐁𝐿𝐾𝐒 and Harun tie Dilek to a chair, and when she wakes up, 𝐁𝐿𝐾𝐒 tells her that she is only alive because of an atrocity. They killed her baby in order to save her. And here it is revealed that 𝐁𝐿𝐾𝐒 is the same woman whose child was offered to Jinn at the beginning of the movie. Dilek says it wasn't her fault, to which 𝐁𝐿𝐾𝐒 says she is innocent. But those villagers and her parents were not, and she is their corrupted spawn. She then tells her that their children are the ones who link the dead to this world, so her parents are going to feel every bit of pain she will inflict upon her. All she wanted was a simple life in this village with her husband, but they murdered him while she was pregnant. For 30 years, she gathered information about magic and the jinns, and every bit of it was for this day. Dilek says but she was holding a Quran, to which she tells her that all 3 Abrahamic religions tell them when doomsday gets closer, there will be more and more heathens who act as if they are believers. She then asks Harun if everything is ready, and here it is revealed that Harun is her son. Meanwhile, Omer ties Seta's hands and legs and covers her face with a plastic bag, due to which she dies within some time due to her inability to breathe. Here, Harun tells Dilek that her best friend Seta is sleeping with her husband, and then he injects her with scorpion venom. He then tells her that he and his mother have searched for her for years, and once they found her, all they had to do was get into her home. He realized her husband was cheating on her. Then he met Seta. Seta is innocent and she doesn't know who he is. But after all, she used him, so she wouldn't get suspicious, and he used her, so he could gain access. Dilek asks him why didn't he kill her on the spot, to which he says because she was the only one who could find his siblings' remains. She deserved the same fate, as it's how the devil works. He also tells her that Seta used a temptation spell called the Bishop's Spell to seduce her husband, but she was very inexperienced and a bit stupid, as she didn't know that all magic ends in despair. Later, 𝐁𝐾𝐄 applies blood on her face and tells her that the spell and the pillow was for her, but the other spell was for Omer. Harun asks her if she remembers the paintings he gave her as a gift. They induce the mania spell. We then see Omer standing in that room, and jinns come out of those paintings. After this, they slowly start moving towards Omer, and he himself slits his throat with a knife. Here Harun and 𝐁𝐾𝐄 summon the jinns and lock Dilek in that room. The jinns then appear there, and in no time, they take her with them. 2 bodies were found in a burned-down house near 𝐇𝐄𝐃, Turkey. The cause of the fire could not be determined, and the bodies were presumed to be a woman called 𝐁𝐾𝐄 the Exorcist, and her son Harun, but the coroner's report was inconclusive. Witnesses claim the mother and son are still alive. Dilek was found in a comatose state on a roadside in 𝐂𝐄𝐄, Bursa, but she responded well to treatment. Any other information related to the case is classified. Dilek is still under protective custody. Omer was found dead in his house. The formal coroner's report stated that it was a murder-suicide and that he slashed his throat after killing his mistress. Seta was found dead in Omer's residence, and the case was registered as a lover's quarrel. No one claimed Yasin's remains, so he was buried in a common grave. Thanks for joining us on our horror movie recap adventure. If you enjoyed the chills, subscribing would mean a lot. Drop a comment to share your thoughts and keep the terror alive. Stay spooky and see you soon.